Good morning. I'm checking my audio to see how it sounds so I can see if this is the way to do it or if I need to use the headset. Now I'm checking the audio through the Pro version to see if this sounds better or if talking the other way was perfectly fine. Alright, I start my day out early in the morning, wake up a little before, uh, about 4:45. My alarm goes off about 4:50, and since I do that on almost every single day, including throughout the weekends, I pretty much wake up before the alarm goes off and turn it off so that it doesn't actually go off. I'm recording all of this stuff right now to try something different. I'm going to try to document pretty much everything as natural as possible. Of course, in front of the camera, it's going to be that natural. But I'm going to just talk to people about my day. I do start my day out with working out. I watch informative YouTube channels to try to learn a new skill instead of just scrolling. And I didn't grow up reading many books. I'm trying to get into reading some books, but I don't have a whole lot of extra time, so that turns into, if I'm doing deliveries or something like that, me listening to them as a podcast or something while I'm driving a delivery truck and just listening on my little headset. I'm gonna be documenting pretty much everything I'm doing at work, everything during my normal day. See if nothing else, it'll be a good thing for me to be able to look back on and see what I did. I'm gonna try to not really edit very many things, just like right now where I'm talking and walking off the camera. I'm not going to go back and cut random stuff like that out of here. So stick with me for a little bit. I'm going to try to be doing several things. I've got a lot of stuff going on at work. I'm doing, in fact, I'm going to try to turn this thing down so I can go and do push-ups and stuff. There. I've got a lot of new stuff going on at work. I'll inform everybody about some of my new business ventures, trying to expand the property, some to necessity, but it's also exciting. And while I'm expanding, I'm going to try to start another new business, which is going to be possibly running Airbnbs, but I've never done that before. And before I ever even get into that, I have to what it is I bought this property next door to my property. Those of you that don't know, I own a garden center. So I sell plants for a living. It started as doing landscape installation and then turned to plants. And then I sell stuff to people at a garden center. Well, it's on my old great-grandfather's property, and as I've done better, I've bought up more property around me, and I've turned it from 2.25 acres that I used to live on. I moved off, bought the place that I'm at right now, and turned it into a commercial garden center. Then I bought the 7-point-something acres that surrounds me to turn it into approximately a 10-acre garden center. And I'm currently in the process of commandeering it's basically 10 acres that's next door to me. I'll show more of that stuff over the next week or two as I get into it if you're interested, because it's a very weird piece of property, and it comes with a mobile home that was my great aunt's mobile home from the 90s. It's in very good shape, but I've got to completely refurbish it, which I'll also be showing. It was some of these things that made me realize that the videos I've been watching are very much showing me things that I enjoy watching, so I thought, why not show my journey doing it too? because I'm going to be fixing up that mobile home. I'm doing the land clearing myself. I'm going to be doing the purchasing portion is through an uncle, so it's using like family connections, but is doing the financing and everything. As far as the daily adventures, there's going to be a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. I've borrowed a crazy bush hog for my machinery that is fantastic. That's going to make my job a lot easier. And I'm currently trying to also learn how to trade the stock market. Just more information. I've been using a YouTube channel that I subscribe to that I think is extremely informative, and to boot, I didn't even realize it, but he was an old friend of mine that I didn't even know what he did for a living. And now I'm going to start trying to use my my first hour of my day to try to learn how to do a new skill, which is learning how to trade the stock market. And that way, maybe I'm never going to do that, or at least I don't plan on doing that as a full-time job, but I'm going to do that as maybe I can take an extra $1,000 or something and put it towards that and dabble and try to learn how to do something. I did that a couple years ago, and I bought into that Robinhood. I downloaded that app, and I put $1,000 in there. That $1,000, it was a good time to get into it because it was doing good at the time, and that was right. I think like 2020, 2021. So I was doing pretty good with my money. I didn't know what I was doing, but I was investing about $1,000, and I thought, well, no matter what, if I lose it, I'll be fine. I can afford to lose $1,000. It's probably not the mentality I have right this moment, but at that moment I said, that's what I'll do. So then my $1,000 quickly turned into like $1,200, and I was like, shoot, yeah, all you gotta do is put money into this machine and you just get more back out. So then I quickly doubled and I put $2,000 in it. I thought, great. So I started buying into some of the cryptocurrencies, and I dabbled about half in crypto and about half in regular stocks. Well, then I decided that was doing good. So I don't remember the exact numbers here, but I'll tell you, I got to probably about 2,400, 2,500, something like that. I said, all right, well, if I can do good with this, then obviously any extra money I have, I should put towards this effort, and I'll do better. So I added the remainder. I don't remember. Let's just use round numbers and assume it was 2,500. If it was 2,500, I added another 1,500 to get me to 4,000. I said, all right, now I'll play with $4,000, and this will be a great thing. I can tell you, like anybody who dabbles in stuff like that, I did not know what I was doing. I still don't. At least I know that I don't know. I was just at one of those bubbles, and it got to the point where I could add a little bit of money, and I thought, well, I know how to do this. If the stock just starts going down, that's buying it when it's cheaper. So, if the stock was at $100, I'll just add more money whenever it goes down, because then when it goes back up, I'll make even more. So the stock would drop to 80. Well, I would buy more shares of it, because why not? So I originally only had $100 invested in it, so basically one share, and now it's at 80. Well, I'll throw another $100 towards it, so I'll have more than two shares. and then it'll drop to 60, and then 50, and then I would buy more and be like, well, it's got to turn around at this point, so I'll buy it down, so I don't have to wait till it gets all the way back up to 100. I just kept throwing good money away and sinking good after bad and just saying eventually it'll turn around. Not everything turns around. Note to those that are starting in investing or whatever, it's if you're just randomly gambling like that, sure, if you do a little bit across everything, the entire stock market might turn back around. But I can tell you, the things I was picking didn't. And just like the cryptocurrencies, which I had threw about half of my about $2,000 out of the four I put towards crypto stuff, and I did it in Bitcoin, Ethereum. I did Litecoin, Dogecoin. I can't even remember the different ones, but whatever Robinhood was offering, I was only doing those. And I thought, oh, this would be great. I'll wait. And, I've heard you have to wait like a year or whatever. Let me tell you, most of my friends and family started talking crap about me because I made quick money, and then it shot down, and I bought crypto. I bought, Bitcoin. I think I had bought it down whenever it was starting to go down, but my average, I think, was around 45,000, or some of the last buy-ins was around 50,000 when it was per coin. So I didn't have, I'll turn this back down, do push-ups again. Again, this is unscripted, me just talking, because I'm going to be I don't want to cut out and not have my workout, but I'm still just going to talk to people as if it's just a friend documenting what all I'm doing. So I bought it in, and it took a huge dive. It went down and stayed down. So my $4,000 dropped to about $2,800. So it was a good throwaway of a lot of money. And then around 2022 and all of those bad years, it stayed down. And 2023, it stayed down. So my whole net worth in my investment account, which I had sunk $4,000 into, was at one point, I think it got down to about $2,100 or $2,200. So anybody that was wanting to talk smack about me for what I was doing, they had a really good chance. So I kind of lost all interest in that. I kind of dropped off to the side and just left my money just sitting there, and I quit paying attention. I just went, well, eventually it'll turn around. And it took years. Currently making this, we're right at the very end of 2024. The market is doing better again. It made me start thinking about it because my cryptocurrencies, the Bitcoin, which I had about when it got to that $50,000 mark, it had taken me over 2 years to get back up to that. So I just quickly was like, take your profit and run. So I had sunk about $1,000 into Bitcoin, and as soon as there was an opportunity, and it got back to what it had been, I just went, oh, thank goodness. And I took a profit of maybe $50 or something. So I quickly sold that and at basically break even. And then it did nothing but go up. Currently, as I'm talking to you, I didn't look this morning, but I know yesterday it was over $100,000 per Bitcoin. So if I had left the Bitcoin and took it out, let's say now in December, there was a point where I know it was at like $104,000, $105,000. Mind you, I just told you I had $1,000 of it bought at half that value, which means for those of you who don't know how stocks work, my $1,000 would have been worth $2,000, which would have by itself made my $4,000 investment worth $5,000. But what did I do? I was so happy to just get my original money back. I quickly took it and run. This is the type of things that people that don't know what they're doing do. And there's a ton of people that's investing and doing the exact same thing right this moment. So I'm trying to learn the right ways of doing it so that I don't just waste money. I'm going to try to see if I can. I guess I don't aspire to making that my life goal. But rather than just scrolling and liking photos of other people's things, I'm going to try to use that as my side hobby and see if I can do better. And I'm going to document everything else that I'm doing. Like I said, I've got a lot of stuff going on at work, and I don't really have like the selfie stick stuff, but I have grabbed a few. I made this. For those of you who have watched any of my other workout videos and stuff, this is a selfie stick that I taped to an old camera stand, and I made something to hold it for me so that I could record my workout videos. Digging through my father's junk pile stuff, people don't use these anymore, so they had gotten rid of it. So I also have this little selfie stick that I'm going to try to. I don't know how it's going to work because I don't really know the exact ways of recording myself, but we're going to figure this out. So if you're interested, you're going to have a lot of video footage on YouTube for at least the next week or two. I'll try to document all the stuff that I'm doing just to see how it turns out. Like I said, if nothing else, it'll just be my documentary to see how all this stuff turns out later. I think it'll be interesting to watch. Here's the property I'm land clearing right now. It's a curve. As you can hear cars going by. It's called Dead Man's Curve. And I will now own the inside of the curve as well, which is a really weird chunk of property that I have no idea what to do with. And this portion is 8. It should be 10 acres, but it's 10 acres minus the width of the road all the way through it, which comes out to like 8 point something acres. And this is what I was talking about that has that mobile home on it. But I've been using that bush hog and trimming everything today, and I've got a lot accomplished so far. Here's where I've been, and then like I haven't been inside that little spot in there, and I haven't been over here yet. You can tell here's where I knocked down one of the trees, but it is extremely thick. This is what I've been using. It works awesome.